Hi, this is Jen Rubin, and this is Jen Rubin's Green Room. I am sitting here on Tuesday afternoon recording the program, so although we have 6 votes from Dixon Notch up in New Hampshire, we don't yet have results from that contest. So tomorrow at this time, we're either going to have sort of a primary or we're going to have no primary whatsoever. Now, I started thinking, how could we have had a better outcome? In other words, less Donald Trump and maybe even somebody other than Donald Trump. And I think part of the problem was what the other candidates were saying, and the other candidates, to be honest. Wrong people, wrong message. What kind of person could have beaten Donald Trump? I think they should have gotten another Donald Trump. They should have gotten a younger, smarter, better, more charismatic billionaire, a real billionaire. Someone who could have kind of out-egoed Trump, someone who could have mocked him, made fun of him, and be entertaining. That's what the Republican Party wants. It's not a political party. They don't care about policy. They want to be entertained. They want someone to be angry on their behalf. So they should have gotten somebody like that, maybe a CEO of a startup company or a CEO of a basketball team, something like that. You are never going to beat Donald Trump, with, at least in the Republican Party, with a traditional, boring politician. And of course, you are really never going to beat him so long as you are commiserating with him about getting indicted, so long as you were saying, I'm going to vote for him in the end. That's loser talk. And if you had someone who had the nerve to say, I don't feel sorry for this guy, only losers get indicted, or something like that, I think it would have been more fun at least, and he might have made some headway. Donald Trump doesn't do well with strong people. He does great with weak people, where he can perceive some flaw, some vulnerability, but he doesn't do well when somebody bigger comes along and punches him in the nose. So I really think they had the wrong person and definitely had the wrong message. So we're going to stumble our way, I think, through the remainder of the primary season. We're going to have a couple trials, and now we're going to get to see the test. The test is Republicans, a lot of them, said they would not vote for Donald Trump if he was convicted of something. Well, I think there's a better than 50-50 chance he will be convicted of something, and let's see how many of them still vote for him anyway. I suspect an awful lot will, because it's a cult. It's a fascist cult. And they don't take a conviction as a true reflection of the justice system, just like they don't take election results as a true reflection of our political system. These people are in the cult and they're in deep. So I think the rest of us are just going to have to turn out and beat them in a regular old election where you have to get turnout, you have to persuade the persuadables, and you have to give the Republicans on the other side enough reason, if not to vote for somebody else, maybe just to stay home because their candidate is such a loser. So that's kind of what's going on in politics. Meanwhile, we have a budget deal that's going to keep the government open through early March, but we do not have a supplemental bill. And today we heard from the White House, and we're hearing from Democrats on the Hill, that Ukraine is down to only weeks of enough material, enough ammunition to keep them going. It's preposterous that a great power should behave like this. But of course, we're behaving like this because the Republicans in the House behave this way. They're totally unreliable. They're totally reckless with the American national security system and with our allies. So this is where we find ourselves. Lastly, the war. It's very interesting. What is happening is much of what I predicted, namely that the Israeli people have had enough. They see that Hamas has been mostly eliminated. They don't think you can kill every last terrorist, and they desperately want the hostages home. And so you're beginning to see mass demonstrations in Israel. They even barged into the Knesset the other day, demanding that there be some kind of effort on the peace front, that they get the hostages home, and that they then go forward with the rest of their lives. And you can understand why. It's not clear at all that every additional day is bringing any more security benefits to Israel. Yesterday, which was Monday, as we record this, they lost 24 members of the IDF. For a country as small as Israel, that's a huge number of people. So we'll see whether a combination of internal pressure, as well as pressure from the White House and from the other Arab states, can give Bibi a shove before he gets shoved off the stage altogether. And that would certainly be nice if we brought this horrible, horrible war to some kind of conclusion. So if you enjoyed this, if you enjoy our program, please tell your friends. They can get Jen Rubin's Green Room on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or wherever they get their podcasts.